just keep growing. Even from last week, we just continue to grow. It's a great way. We certainly thank Frank and Eastern Telephone for providing this for us. Fantastic. It's good to see some faces I haven't seen in a while. So thank you all for joining. Let's go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I will lead that for us, okay? Allegiance
to the flag of the United States
of
America,
and to
to
the
the
republic
republic,
one nation,
which it stands, one nation,
under God,
justice,
indivisible,
visible, with liberty
and
and
justice
justice
for all. And we'll remain standing. Jim Brown, will you please lead us in prayer?
Okay. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity to gather together again for a meeting with our Rotary Club. We pray that you continue to be with our community as it deals with the pandemic, and pray that everyone stays safe. In His name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, James.
Amen.
All right. And our district governor, will you lead us in the four-way test, please?
Sorry, had to unmute. For all the things that we say and do, first, is it the truth?
true.
Is it fair to all
Concerned.
Will it build goodwill?
Will
Better
friendship.
Will be beneficial to all concerned.
All right. As we continue, thank you, District Governor, and as we continue through our meeting, I don't know if many of you all have seen the emails. Have a Christmas gift bags that are going to be prepared for the nursing homes in the area. It's going to have all kinds of goods. I don't know if Karen sent it out earlier. Haven't seen that email, let me know, and I'll make sure that we get it to you. Several businesses within our Rotary Club have donated money, as have individuals. And if you can, we ask that you do so we can, the Great Service Project for Rotary, it's going to be nice for the holiday. And after several of our members have spoken to administration of these nursing homes and assisted livings, a lot of these folks could use it. So it's a great thing. Get in touch with Eva or get in touch with Karen, and we'll be delivering these gifts to the nursing homes. Yet to be determined when, and hopefully we'd like to, of course, socially distance and carol for them, just to help bring a little bit of joy to these folks who's probably a lot of them are alone all year long without a pandemic. So a great idea. I thank Eva and Karen Roberts-Prater for spearheading this. It's great. It's moving. We've got a lot of money raised so far. We can continue to do so. And Eva, is there anything else you need to add to that? Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Greg? This is Pam Howard.
Yes, I can hear you, Pam.
Okay, I'd just like to remind everyone that every sound that everyone makes can be heard. So you probably want to mute your phone when we're doing movement because I'm getting a lot of noise on my end.
Yeah, I'm taking a lot of my end too.
Just a friendly reminder. I'm not good at this, but I was able to get on. But every paper it's moved, every bottle that's opened, you can hear it. So.
Yeah, and it's mag.
Sorry, I just had to mention it.
Well, I kind of the idea out there to the group to see what they thought about doing something for the nursing home residents. I think they are the ones that are, I guess, have been hurt the most through this pandemic. You know, they've been close in and away from people. not feeling loved right now. So, and we've been searching for a service project, and it started out with maybe Parkview. Now it's turned to for and we're going to be right around 375 residents right in that area before. But I think that so far we've already raised $2,700 just in talking the last couple of days. So once we get it out to the club, I'm sure everybody will be wanting to help. We'll have a items that you can purchase where you can drop those off to if you want to send the check, and we'll go buy it. Stuff back. We go out to homes and sing, "Oh, I want a home," but you know, spread some cheer to them. I just think it would be a good time to do that. Got an email, and guys, if you have any questions, let me or Karen know.
Okay, thank you, Eva. Also, Rodney Scott was originally our speaker today. He was more comfortable speaking to a live audience than virtually, and Howard has graciously stepped up his date to speak to us today. So we look forward to Howard Roberts talking. Any other announcements? Okay. Yes, Rakesh.
I just wanted to let you all know that next week our speaker would be Dr. Fadi Alakras, who's the infectious disease specialist, and he will also be joining us via a virtual meeting, and he will be talking about the state of the pandemic in Pike County. And the week following that, it would be our own district governor, James Glass, who would be the speaker, and more than likely, the way it seems, we would still be meeting virtually. And so James would be our speaker on the 16th. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh. Okay.
This is Pam. I was hoping we could resume meetings on December 16th, so you don't think that will happen, Rakesh?
You know, Pam, today, I just to give you a realistic idea of where we stand on the pandemic, today, King's Daughter Medical Center converted their lobby and their waiting area into an extension of the emergency room. And whatever, I mean, we usually are about 5 or 7 days behind King's Daughter, you know, in terms of what happens. So, you know, I mean, I personally think that we are realistically looking at early January to be able to meet safely. That's my opinion.
Okay, thank you.
Other announcements?
I do. This is Novella. And we have continued to have Kit for Kids on the porch of the Extension office. They drive through and pick them up. Remote areas, we are delivering some kits to the children. So if you know someone who has a kiddo that needs something to do, we have some kits for them, free.
I apologize. My dog is in my lap because it keeps him from yapping. Okay. Any bragging bucks? Any good news?
On the club for all the assistance help if together quickly and make it happen. And I look forward to working with other people to help us spread some, I guess.
We lagged out. Rakesh, can you hear me? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm having some audio issues. Actually, I'm getting like the fiber put in on Friday. After much resistance, I'm going to have to do that. So hopefully from the next meeting won't be so interrupted. And thanks to Frank for helping us with that. My brag is again on Frank Dowhere and Eastern Telephone for being able to help us meet in these circumstances and keeping the club engaged. So thank you very much, Frank, again for everything you're doing.
We certainly appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. Our pleasure. Thank you. Sherry has her hand raised, Greg.
Okay, go ahead, Sherry.
Some good news. I'm going to be a grandmother for the first time in April, so I'm looking forward to that event. The bad news is I can't really see her. I mean, she's in Michigan, but even if I could see her, I don't know that I'd want to take that chance. But I'm excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Congratulations. That's fantastic news.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And my phone stand is deciding not to work anymore. Okay. All right. I'll start the complaining bucks. I'm going to complain that my son and the Pikeville Panthers lost on Friday night in the second round of the playoffs. But hats off to Hazard team. They played really good. Our team just didn't. They tried and just didn't. It wasn't their night. So, congratulations to them on a great season. But I wanted to see them move forward. Any complaints? Okay.
Well, you kind of stole my complaint.
Do what?
Made it a brag, but I was going to complain.
Yeah, me too.
I see Kelly Wells down in here now. Welcome, Kelly. Okay. All right. Anything else? All right, so we will move forward with the meeting, and Howard Roberts is our presenter. Is anyone presenting Howard?
That's all right.
The name speaks for himself. He's like Prince and Cher. He's Howard.
Well, thank you all for attending Rotary today. This is certainly a very different format, but as others have said, Frank, thank you, and Eastern Telephone. Frank and I ran through a little trial run here earlier to make sure that we could make technology work for a PowerPoint presentation. So cross your fingers and help me believe we can get through this. But thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. I'm going to talk about the Coleman College of Business at UPike. And so let me pull this up on my screen. Do you see the PowerPoint?
Not yet.
All right. Still not, right? Okay.
Now you're on the right. There you go.
Got it.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you. So this picture is often what you see on the homepage of the UPike website, that the beautiful picture of our region that was taken by Larry Epling. Some of you may know Larry. He's an employee at UPike, works in the PR office and is our webmaster, but he's also a photographer. And this is a picture we like to share of his work. Most of you know where the Coleman College of Business is located. We are located on College Street, right across the street from the public library. in the building that is known as the Academy Building. And to give you a brief history, this building was built in 1889, and most everything in the building is still original. If you haven't been in that building, stop by, send me a text or an email, and I'll be more than happy to make sure that I'm available to give you a tour of this building. This was the first building of what is now known as the University of Pikeville. At this time, when classes started here in September of 1889, the institution was then known as Pikeville Collegiate Institute, and it was a a private school, but it was more for elementary and high school students. And as the school endured lots of struggles in its first years, they actually closed for a year due to not quite a pandemic, but a local issue with typhoid. And but the school was founded by Presbyterian ministers who came on horseback from the Ashland area. And I'm still always amazed at how long that trip must have taken to be on horseback and to travel through this part of the state at that time. And this was the early 1880s. And they were looking for a community to build a school and a church. And when they arrived in Pikeville, they received the most encouragement and the warmest reception. And when they returned to Ashland, they said the recommendation was, we really need to do this in Pikeville. So they bought this property at that whole part of town where the College Street area, and they built the Presbyterian Church first. That was at about the mid-1880s, and the Presbyterian Church was located next to the Methodist Church. So that parking lot that's there behind Road Tested and beside the Methodist Church was the Presbyterian Church. And then they built this school. So you could stand out in the street there and look at one end and see the church, and the other end and see the school that they built. So the school was used for a number of uses. It was, as I said, an elementary school. Then property was donated to the institution, as we would say, on the hill. And that's when some of the buildings up there were built, and they built a building up there that was the high school, and the academy building became more of an elementary school. Ultimately, Pikeville Collegiate Institute became Pikeville Junior College, and then in 1957, it conferred the first baccalaureate degrees and became Pikeville College. And in 2013, we became the University of Pikeville. Also in 2013, the Coleman College of Business was formed. There was a need as the university grew to restructure the institution, and so we formed colleges under the university. And Berlin Coleman, as he was so instrumental in this, as he has been in much of the development of this region, and a longtime supporter of UPike. He was a trustee university for decades. He was instrumental in helping to start the medical school. And so he stepped up and wanted to make a contribution to start the College of Business. And I want it to be known that he insisted that the school not be named for him, but he was outvoted on that pretty quickly. And so Governor Patton and some of the others at that time clearly wanted to honor Berlin with this. And so this picture was taken the day that the announcement was made to form the Coleman College of Business. At that point, I became dean of the Coleman College of Business. I had started at UPike in 1984 as an accounting professor. I started at UPike after working as an accountant in industry. I began my career after graduate school with the third largest chemical company in the world, Monsanto, which was headquartered in St. Louis. And I worked as an accountant there dealing with manufacturing. I quickly learned that if I was going to stay with that company, I would be moving about every 2 years. And I thought if I was going to do that, I may as well join the military, and I wasn't going to do that. So I left and entered the energy sector. I worked in oil and gas and in the coal industry for a few years before coming to UPike. So in '84, I started as an accounting professor, and then for the last 27 years, I have been in administration and only teach part-time. So I'm happy to lead this special group of people. I'll introduce our faculty to you. These are 4 of our faculty members. Susie Shearer joined us this year. I think Donnie's on here today. I think I saw his name there earlier. Susie comes to us from the healthcare sector, and she's also an attorney. So she teaches our law classes, ethics, and healthcare administration. And we all know and love Brenda Maynard. Brenda has been at UPike for 40 plus years. I'd have to think a little harder on that, but Brenda serves a great role. She coordinates our internship program and teaches the technology courses in business. Rick Bentley has been at UPike about 22 years, but he has served as a professor for the last 6 years in sport management. And Clark Lichty moved to Pikeville a year and a half ago from North Carolina. He teaches entrepreneurship. And Greg Green is our economist. Lois Rogers White is an accounting professor. Lucy Holman teaches primarily business communication and teaches in one of our newer programs, which is a certificate program I'll talk a little more about in a moment. And then Tyler Eisenman joined us this fall as a visiting instructor. He's formerly employed by IBM, and he's teaching management courses. So we offer in the Coleman College of Business associate degrees, baccalaureate degrees, and master's degrees. The associate degree program has very little enrollment these days, but there's no real need to eliminate that because many times students will come thinking they only want a 2-year degree, but the coursework that they complete in the associate degree program all transfers into the baccalaureate degree program. And so most people who think that's the degree they want to pursue change their mind and actually pursue the associate degree. 2 years ago, we began a minor in entrepreneurship, and there were several reasons that we did this. Primarily, we want to be responsive to the needs of this region. And as we all know, there has been a greater emphasis on economic development and understanding the needs of the region after the decline of the coal industry. And we want students and anyone from the community to realize one of the greatest careers is entrepreneurship, being self-employed. And many times our students don't realize that this is an option for them. So the minor in entrepreneurship was created. This is open to anyone, whether they are a business major or not. So we have some students maybe who are pre-med majors, and they are in the sciences, but they understand that someday they will also be most likely a business owner, or they would be working in a clinical setting where they still need business knowledge. And this program is growing. And in fact, we had a young man who entered a competition this past spring. We're really hoping he can do something with this innovative idea that he has. But he is a diabetic and he's an athlete, and he wanted to find a better way to regulate insulin. And so we worked with him and conducted research, and Dr. Lichty, our entrepreneurship professor, worked with him, and he developed a business plan for a diabetic product, and it works sort of like the Listerine breath fresheners, the little kind of transparent thing that you put on your tongue and it dissolves. And this is a way you can monitor your insulin and then immediately administer it. The dosage, of course, can be varied with these strips. He won first place in the state with that idea, but it was in the division of healthcare and medicine. We are now looking at doing much more research at the institution. We will remain primarily a teaching institution, but there is a greater emphasis on research, and we're hoping with that to move forward with some research activities with that particular product. There in the lower right corner, you see, many of you know Chandra Hunley. She is one of our graduates. She was an accounting major, and she works at the Expo Center. Our BBA programs, the Bachelor in Business Administration, we have several programs here that allow you to pursue careers in business. Here we see the first one, which is the accounting degree, widely used in any field of business. You study the data of business careers. You will find that most business executives, people in Fortune 500 companies around the globe, have a degree in accounting. Management and those others clearly are important too, but management really is known as the language of business, and there's a reason for that. One of the great things our accounting students do is each spring we participate in a program with the IRS known as the VITA program, and that acronym stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. So on Saturdays, people from the public can come to the Academy building, and we will meet with them, prepare their income taxes, file those electronically at no charge. And that is a great opportunity for our students to learn taxes and how to file taxes. And this, of course, isn't done without scrutiny. Those students are trained by the IRS, and the returns are actually reviewed by the accounting professor before they are filed. This year, we're programs, and along with the virtual appointment, we'll not be able to accommodate people as we have previously. But this will make the 5th year that we offer that service. We also have a bachelor's degree in management. This is a popular degree program. Many students will major in business with an emphasis in management. And the young man you see pictured here was an athlete, and he now works at Norton Healthcare in Louisville in the Human Resources office. Our graduates truly are all over the world, and I think it's one of the things that makes our program distinctive is that we truly stay in touch with our graduates. Being a small school and with our faculty who are very engaged, we truly get to know these students and follow them on their career path and want to continue to mentor them as they move through their careers. The healthcare management is also a very popular program. We felt like this was a natural progression in our program development when we started this after seeing the expansion of our nursing program, of course, expansion of the CICOM, the medical school, and then with the addition of CICO for optometry. We realized again that those people need business skills and that there would be employment opportunities in the region in healthcare. So the healthcare management program was developed, and that has certainly been well received and moved along very well. The 4th area that we offer an undergraduate degree in is sport management. We have a number of athletes at UPike with more than 20 athletic program or teams and sports. So sport management is, at this point, sport management and healthcare management are where we see the largest enrollment in the College of Business. The interesting thing about both sport management and healthcare management is, though both of those programs require an internship. Students majoring in accounting and management may complete an internship, but it is not required in those programs. So the internships that these students complete are very, I think, often misunderstood, because oftentimes the public will assume if someone's majoring in sport management, they want to be a coach or an athletic director, and many times they do, but they also can complete this internship program to expand their knowledge. We've had students who've worked at the Kentucky Horse Park with an internship. We have written formal arrangements and agreements with many entertainment facilities. We had a young lady a few years ago who was combining both the accounting and the sport management program, and she is currently in the controller's office for the Phoenix Suns. And she's just done a remarkable job of using an internship to help launch a career. Then we started the master's degree program in 2011. The MBA program has been modified several times since it was launched. And we often do that in any program at any college or university. Is after the program is initiated, you determine where the deficiencies are and where the strong points are, and you make revisions. Keep in mind that all these programs require multiple steps to be created. We have to go through a series of steps on campus to gain approval for these programs, and then depending on what they are, we have to also get approval from our accrediting agency. And we are accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. The acronym for that is SACS. And so SACS, it's very rigorous. To develop the MBA program took us almost a year to write a prospectus and submit it to SACS. It was approved first time, so that's very unusual, that your initial proposal and prospectus is approved with no suggested changes. And this program today has been revised. Now it is completely online, and the program is 30 hours. Many of our local employers are very interested in this program so that they can cultivate and develop their own employees, their workforce. But we also have, I continue to be amazed now that we are online, and we promote that heavily through social media and online platforms. But just this week, I've received an application from a prospective student in St. Petersburg, Florida, and received one yesterday from someone in Raleigh, North Carolina. So you see that online delivery of these programs are really key so that we can grow the programs and sustain those. We offer 3 concentrations in the MBA program. One, again, is healthcare management. The professional program is management, and then entrepreneurship. Of those 3, healthcare is where we see the largest enrollment. The entrepreneurship is our newest emphasis option in the MBA program, and we are seeing growth in it. This just points out a little more of the features of the MBA program, the skills that students can gain to earn that degree, and how it can advance their careers. Primarily, the program was focused on, as we say, the working professional, someone working and full-time and wanted to enhance their skills and to take this program at night and online. And as I said, it's moved completely online now. And one of the unique features about this, I recruit for the program, is trying to be innovative. And 2 years ago, we entered into an agreement with the Appalachian College of Pharmacy over in Grundy that those students could simultaneously earn their pharmacy degree and the UPike MBA. And some of you may have heard me tell this story before. I went there that day not knowing what to expect, but we were holding an information session, and I was hoping that we might have 20 or 30 students show up, and 150 students showed up with interest in earning this program, this degree, while they were in the pharmacy program. So we've had a lot of interest there. That has been very successful. We hope to continue those types of partnerships with other professional schools. It's really challenging in some programs for the students to find time to complete both degrees. So one option we are considering is a certificate program, which would be more like a mini MBA. The MBA is 30 hours, so they might take 12 hours, and rather than earn the degree, they would earn a certificate. But in the future, if they chose to earn the degree, those 12 hours for the certificate would fulfill those degree requirements. The CCOB is an acronym for the Coleman College of Business, and our undergraduate program goals are identified here. And the first one you see says building a network of business leaders and mentors in Central Appalachia to establish new businesses. That's very important to us. And when we created the College of Business, one of my goals at that time was for us to be seen not only as an academic center, but as a resource center. That businesses in the area would look to us for guidance and for research projects, for opportunities to employ our students. And we've built a very strong network for internships and employment. If you look at the national data, 80% of all jobs that are filled in this country are never advertised. So when you think about only 20% of the jobs in this country that are filled are advertised. So that tells us that what we need is to have this network so that when an employer has a need, rather than advertising for that, they call UPike and they say, I need 2 accountants, or I need someone with specific skills to work full-time, and if that works out, we will maybe hire them full-time after they complete their degree. So an internship many times leads to full-time employment. So that was our main focus there, other than the academic offerings. And you can see the other things there that we really promote and try to do in our program. We have a chapter of Phi Beta Lambda, and this is a group of business students. Membership is voluntary. They complete service projects throughout the year, but they also compete in academic events. So each spring, they attend a spring conference where students from all colleges and universities in Kentucky meet. They learn leadership skills and attend workshops and training programs, but they also compete in various disciplines of business. So it may be business decision making, it can be accounting or marketing, business law. We've had an incredibly large number of our students to win first and second place awards at these conferences. And when they do, they can advance to a national conference. In fact, when Greg Dempsey was a student at UPike, he was a member of this organization. And many times these students who participate in this do very, very well when they go into the workforce because they have already competed in business matters on state and national levels. So on our webpage, you can find more information about the institution, but also, of course, specifically about the College of Business. And at this time, I will answer any questions or listen to any comments or suggestions you may have.
According to Barry.
Howard, this is Pam. How many students do you have enrolled currently in the College of Business?
In the College of Business, we have, well, let me explain it this way, Pam. Our undergraduate programs at the university are about 1,200 students. When you add then the medical school, the optometry program, and the dual credit are those students who are high school students and also college students. We're right about 2,200. So of the 1,200 undergraduate, a fourth of those are business majors. We are one of the largest degree conferring programs on campus.
Great.
I think Rakesh, do you have a question?
Yes, Howard, first of all, I want to congratulate you, being the founding dean and the amazing progress that the Coleman College of Business has done under your leadership is great. And the question I have, Howard, is do you have any other programs on the horizon to add to the current programs that you're offering?
We do. Right now we are focusing, and thank you for your kind words, Rakesh. The programs we are working on right now are certificate programs. And one of those that we launched this year is a 12-hour program. Again, it's anyone in the community can take this certificate program, may enroll in it, or any student on campus. And this one is Women in Leadership. There's a real need for that. We see as more women enter the business world, women in leadership is very, very important. So we are looking at also combining a program with the College of Arts and Sciences in computer graphics and business development. We had a program we referred to as the MIS, Management Information Systems program, a few years ago, and we had a computer science program. There just wasn't enough interest in those programs, surprisingly, with all the technology today. Those programs were just very outdated, to be frank with you. So we eliminated those. This new program that we hope to launch next fall will be more along the line of combining business and technology and some of the programs in the College of Arts and Sciences. We also are considering offering an accounting emphasis in the MBA program.
Now, Sherry's got her hand up.
I'm sorry, I can't see her one. Sherry?
Hold on. We've got a really great partnership with UPike. And I was just wondering if you know offhand how many of our students transfer to your program to finish up their bachelor's degree?
Well, and I will, yes, agree with you there. We have a great partnership with Big Sandy. Sherry and the team there have been wonderful to work with. And we continue to have discussions with them how we can partner together, and that's important. One of the things we've looked at and had discussions with the business program at Big Sandy is for the hospitality management. Big Sandy offers an associate degree in hospitality management, and so we are considering allowing those students to come to UPike to complete a program, most likely in hospitality management too. But to answer your question there, Sherry, many of your students do transfer to UPike in business. I would say that probably of our current enrollment, about 10% of those are transfer from Big Sandy.
Howard?
Yes.
You offer scholarships for online MBA?
We do not have any scholarships in the graduate program. That is another program that we're offering. And we do have a quasi scholarship program. We do have GAs, or graduate assistants. And so a graduate student may apply for a GA position on campus. They may work in the College of Business. In fact, we have a GA this year who's just doing an outstanding job. His major is in healthcare management. They may work in athletics. They work in the business office or the registrar's office. And if they do that, they do receive a tuition waiver. But there are no actual scholarships in the MBA program.
Thank you.
Any others?
Well, as I look on this screen, there are several people here who are UPike graduates in business. You're doing a good job carrying on the UPike legend, and we appreciate the legacy you're creating as well. So thank you for allowing me to share a little information with you today. At any time, if you have questions or comments, or you want to tour that building, let me know and I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you, Howard. Great presentation. I'm certainly proud of my degree from UPike. I always want to say Pikeville College, but my alma mater. I'm super proud of the Hill and everything they do there. The College of Business is fantastic. He's not kidding. We in the Phi Beta Lambda we competed on state and national levels. Not to toot my own horn, but I won the human resources in Kentucky, and got to compete in California against the nation in human resources. So it was experiences like no other. You can't get experiences like that every day. And we thank you for speaking today. What a great presentation. And we hope to see you all next week. Be safe, be careful, and take care.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Have a good week.
Bye, everyone.
Everyone have a good week. Thank you.
Bye-bye.